Hello students, welcome again to my YouTube channel. As you know, the exams are on verge and this is high time that one should devote oneself to studies. So I'm starting with the first poem, that is Dust of Snow by Robert Frost, which is the part of the first unit in the book First Flight. Let's go with it. Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. Before starting with the poem, we should know about its poet. Robert Frost, was an American poet of modern era. His writings are realistic and he has often represented rural life. In this poem also, he is talking about nature and its healing power. Let's start with the poem, Dust of Snow. Before going into the detail, we should know what the title stands for. Dust of snow. Dust means the tiny particles of something. And you must have observed during the snowfall, what happens? The snow is everywhere on the branches of the tree, on the houses. So what happens? So it seems to be the dust. If you're holding it in your hand, it seems to be dust. The tiny particles of snow seem to be like dust. So therefore, the poet is referring to dust of snow. Though it is a very small poem, but it has a deeper meaning. We will discuss about the meanings, the messages that the poet wants to give through this poem. This is the poem which is reflected on the screen right now. The poem says, "The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued." The thing is, the poet is using here two unconventional things. These are the hemlock tree and bird. What is unconventional? Unconventional means unusual. The things which are not generally considered auspicious. Rather, they are considered inauspicious. You must have heard in your home that if the crow has been there, it is considered that it is an inauspicious bird. But the poet has been using the crow only. And the hemlock tree, which is a poisonous tree, which is also an indicator of sorrow. It also symbolizes sorrow. So both of the things that the poet has used, crow and hemlock, both are the indicators of doom, to bring some sorrow to somebody. But here the poet wants to give the message that nothing is inauspicious in life. The things which are considered negative can too have positive effect. This is all rubbish. A petty thing, petty means a very small thing, which is not considered of supreme importance, can have a great significance. As I have told you in the starting, the smaller the poem, the deeper the meaning. So what happens? The poet has been crossing by, after the snowfall, he is crossing by and he is passing by a tree. When he was just passing under one of the hemlock trees there, a crow was sitting on one of the branches of the tree. The way a crow shook down on me, and the movement of the crow which was sitting on the branch, the movement of the crow, what is its effect? The snow, the dust, some of the dust of the snow fell on the shoulder or on the head of the poet. So what is the meaning of the first two lines? The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow. There is the crow which is sitting on the one of the branches of a hemlock tree. Because of its movement, the snow particles, the dust particles fell on me. And which tree it is? It is a hemlock tree. So both the things are clear. Crow and the hemlock tree has been used there. But what is the effect of it? Why is the poet referring to this incident of his life? What does he mean to say? In the second stanza, we'll see to that. Has given my heart a change of mood. What happens? We do not know that why the poet was sad. Somehow he was spending his day being sad. He was upset on one or the other things that is not mentioned here. And that is not important even here. What is the message here? The poet wants to say that the particles that fell on me have and saved some part of a day I had rued. Rued means I was holding this day in regret. Please do mention that rued means holding a day in regret. He was holding his day in regret, and he's saying that when this when the dust particles fell on me, it gave me a positive mood. It brought back my positive mood. The day that I was spending in regret, now I'm going to spend my day with happiness. And why that happiness came into him, how that happiness came into him, because of that tiny dust that fell on his shoulder or on his head. It is also not mentioned in the poem that which part of the poet had experienced that falling of dust of snow. Fine. So we would say that it fell on the poet. So has given my heart a change of mood. Heart means, that means, as you know, that all the feelings that we feel, maybe it is sorrow, maybe it is happiness, maybe it is something else. We always feel it through heart. So he is saying that this small gesture of nature has given me a change of mood, and I could save some part. Save some part means save some part of the day, because I was spending my day in regret. Now that incident has saved some part of my day, and I'm not going to spend rest of my day in sorrow. Now I would be spending my day with happiness. So what is the message given by the poet? He wants to say that nothing is inauspicious. Things which are considered negative can have positive effect. He's also talking about the unimaginable healing power of nature. Nothing is unconventional in life. Fine. Nothing is inauspicious in life. Fine. So this is the poem that I have explained you, but that's not enough. We need to go for the poetic devices used by the poet. I think you might have heard about some of the poetic devices like alliteration, similes, personifications, and many more. So we need to go for the poetic devices because that are generally asked in the examination. In the form of RTC, they might ask it, or direct questions are also there. It is all objective paper. So let us go for the poetic devices. Do you know why poetic devices are used? I should clear that first. Poetic devices are used to give rhythm to the poem. If the poet want to intensify some meaning, if the poet want to express a thought, or to make it more attractive to the readers when we are reading, and if there are poetic devices, the rhymes are used, we feel more energetic to read about it. Okay, so let's discuss about the poetic devices used in the poem. The first one that is used is alliteration. Alliteration means the repetition of sounds. Generally, people misunderstand it by saying that it is repetition of letters. No, it is repetition of sounds. Like has given my heart, the repetition of her sound, H, her. Has and heart, that shows alliteration. And then one more, one of the more sentences, we have alliteration that is saved some part, it is saved. Sir and sir, the repetition of sound, sir. Then we have assonance. Assonance means when a particular vowel has been used more prominently. For example, you can see that the second line, shook down on me, the prominence of the vowel O there. So we have assonance there. Then we have synecdoche. Synecdoche is referring to a part, and the main motive is to represent the complete thing. For example, the poet is saying its heart has given my heart, but generally he wants to talk about heart. He wants to talk about himself. That this small gesture of nature has given me a change of mood, not only a heart. So referring to the heart means the complete poet. He is talking about himself, not only one of the parts of his body. So synecdoche is something when we are referring to a part, and our significance is on the complete thing. The last one is enjambment. Enjambment is there in complete poem. I just show you the poem once again. The thing would be clear to you. Enjambment means when a single line has not been written in a single line, it has been divided into more than 2 or 3 lines without any punctuation mark. As you can see, the way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. So this is the line going on, and the poet has been dividing that line into 4 lines. Fine. And without any punctuation marks. And why does the poet use it? Just to give the rhythm to the poem. Just to give the rhythm to the poem, he has been using it. So the fourth poetic device that has been used in the poem is enjambment. Okay. The last thing that I want to talk about is rhyme scheme. I feel you know how to calculate the rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is, what is the rhyme scheme here? It's A, B, A, B. How is it so? I'll tell you. The first line, the way a crow, this is ending with crow. The rhyming word to crow is snow. So we are going to give the same letter of alphabet to it. So the first line is A, the third line is A, Second line is ending with me. This is the new word. And the fourth line is ending with tree. That's rhyme with the second line. So we are going to give the another letter of English alphabet, that is B. So therefore the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. Similarly, if we come to the second stanza, the first line ends with heart. This is the third word which is going to have its own rhyme. And similarly, in this stanza, the third line that's end with part, it's rhyme with heart. And then mood rhymes with rude. So it is C, D, C, D. So the complete rhyme scheme becomes A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. See, Bacha, the thing which is very important, the meanings of the words, the reference of it, the poetic devices used there, the message given by it, what is the significance of the title, all the things should be clear to you. Fine. Now it is the time for recapitulation. I have just selected few questions for you. I hope you would be able to answer it. You answer it first and then check the answers that I'm telling you right now. How did the dust of snow affect the poet? The four options are: it made him energetic, it changed his mood, it made him superior, or none of the above. I think the answer is very clear. It is B part, it changed his mood. The next question is, the crow and the hemlock tree symbolize. What does it symbolize? Okay. So the thing is, sorrow, happiness, celebration, or death. The answer would be sorrow, though they are considered unconventional. So they symbolize sorrow. Okay. So therefore, the answer would be A part. If we move on to the third question, why does the poet call it dust of snow? What is it here? First of all, it means the snowflakes. So why is the poet calling it dust of snow? The options are: snow particles were too tiny, they came over him like dust, they felt like dust, they looked like dust. It would be first part, snow particles were too tiny. Then the fourth question, name the poetic device used in has given my heart. So there are two poetic devices used in this line. As you know, I have already explained to you alliteration and synecdoche, but now we don't have the option for alliteration, so we would go for synecdoche. Then the fifth question is, what is the rhyme scheme of the poem? We have just discussed it. I think everybody would be able to answer this question. If you still face problem, you can write in the chat box. I would tell there. The poet says, of a day I had rued. What is the meaning of rued? Though I explained that, still I tell you, the answer would be B part, held in regret. He was holding his day in regret. And after that incident that happened to him, he changed his mood. That changed his mood. That's it, class. So this is the complete explanation of the poem. But still, if you face any problem, you're free to ask your queries there. Definitely, whenever I would get time, I would get back to you. Thank you.